Oh,
Are you
yep,
counting?
you're in the middle. Oh yeah, I was like, oh wait, I'm waiting.
We
For a
waiting on
second, I
your
was like, wait a
Mexican
second. Okay.
countdown.
All right, yeah, I'll throw off for a second. All right, my bad. All right, 5,
Mexican.
4. Are you
He
trolling?
ain't doing it. Of course he is.
Yeah, he was trolling. Oh my god.
You could have did it in Mexican.
Anyway, Mexican is not a language.
5,
Anywho.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys, welcome back to Bar Exam. I'm your host, Ali Rayner, and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Mr. Eric G is in the building, and Mr. Marcus Stevie. Say what's up, fellas.
What up?
What up? What up?
Everybody got
So,
on white tees.
I know, right? I was
I know,
thinking
right?
the same shit. Like, look at us. We all got the memo, apparently. So,
I
and
know. We
and
didn't
we
even
actually
talk
didn't
about it.
plan this at all. At
Uh,
all. I love it. So clearly we're very much coordinated here at Bar Exam. But anyway, so this week, coming before the bar, we wanted to talk about up and coming artists. Maybe they're independent, maybe they're just now breaking through. And we just wanted to highlight them in some of their favorite, like our favorite songs from them, maybe their best lyrics off of that song, and just introduce the world to the people that some of these artists that we really enjoy and we feel like maybe need to get a little bit more shine and maybe you need to have on your radar. So I'm going to start it off. You guys know that I'm a Cleveland native. So I definitely had to start off with somebody from Cleveland. And I picked the Cleveland rapper Kane. So it's Caine. And basically, Kane is really well known for like his lyrics and just being kind of like he's well known in Cleveland because he also works a lot with Bone Thugs and Harmony. And if you're from Cleveland, like more than likely you love Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like that's another hometown favorite, you know. So he ends up like doing different songs with either like the entire group, or sometimes he just like breaks off and does something with Lazy or Crazy, stuff like that. He also is really cool with DJ Paul. I think they just came back from a tour as well. So he showed up on the last album, DJ Paul, Crazy, Lazy, all of them. He also featured a few other up and coming artists as well. But yeah, and his album is called My Thoughts. It's actually really dope. I think you guys should definitely check it out. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, all the streaming platforms. But I will get into why I like him and his verses. I think that he just has this really cool street vibe about him, but I don't think that he overdoes it, and I don't feel like he has to do like I don't know. I don't feel like he has to do like I feel like the gimmicky shit. You know, like I don't feel like he has to do so much gimmicky shit like other people. I think that he has like pretty good bars on his own. So, for example, one of my favorite verses was his second verse from the song. Hold on, sorry, I do not want to say this wrong. I know it's in them streets, but I'm like, well, I think it's been in them streets actually. Yeah, so it's called the favorite song is called "Been in Them Streets," and my favorite verse from there is the second verse, and it goes something like this. Let me pull it up real quick. So he goes, "Heavy chains moving light on, sorry, heavy chains moving light, a bunch of real dudes. Why they hate, I got a plate, so I don't fucking care. A lot of packs where I'm from, they put you up in the air. We be we be on go. If it's a no, then you go no. It's so. I'm putting numbers on the board. You better up the score. Really though, I'm on my cane shit. Fuck money. BBLs where the scales. We a tuck tummies. Been a shark. This the water, so it's game on. She call me childish because I fuck her with my chains on. Like, so I don't know. I just feel like he's got that chill, like flow. You know what I mean? His bars are pretty up there, you know? So I just like him. I like his lyricism, and I think that he's somebody everyone should check out. So that's just one of my personal favorites. Eric or Marcus, do you guys want to, highlight one of your artists that you think is up and coming and maybe needs a little bit of shine?
Yeah, I'll go next. So,
Okay.
this guy came on my radar actually maybe a couple of years ago, and the first guy I want to talk about is Famo Bang. Um, so, so he
It's a
is.
crazy photo.
I know, right? The photo represents a lot of the energy behind him. Very, very, very. It links right together. So with that, um, he's a rapper from New York, and the first time that I heard about him, The first time that I heard about him was when
Marcus, what? Shut the hell up.
Man, I'm not lying. I swear to God, I know the show must go on. I'm so sorry. But he was trying to keep it together, and them dogs was fucking him up. I'm so sorry. But we just like, because the first time I'm like, oh, he just gonna act like we ain't seen, he ain't gonna say nothing. He was just like David, this little kid, look.
I mean, what was that good? I wasn't gonna turn the camera off.
Yeah, like I'm
Right.
like we too real on the show. Like we ain't just gonna pass that up. That happened.
Hey man,
Because I thought somebody fell, and then they threw up this crazy picture, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that was kind of right on time. That's a little blooper moment, you know. And he kept going, and when you snapped, like they did that little snap.
Man,
I'm
she
so
gets
sorry.
real, okay? She
Yeah,
gets real.
listen.
Them pets be like, I don't give a damn. So
at all.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to like cut your segment. I'm so sorry, but that was hilarious.
We'll get right back
Listen,
to it.
sometimes when it comes to dogs, there is no low key sometimes. So I get it. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But anyway, okay, so who are you talking about again? I'm sorry.
No, we're good. No, you're good. So the very first time that I actually heard about him wasn't even from his music. If you ever heard the saying "catch the ops lacking," it more than likely came from this guy, from Famo Banga. And the prime example of that is one time he was in court, and one of his ops were in court with him, and he goes on Instagram Live, and he sits down next to the dude, and he just starts going off, just starts naming all these people in dude's gang that are no longer here, and just starts shitting on him, like all of them. And at the end, he goes, "I dare you to say something about one of my homies. Say something." And the dude next, like, because they were going back and forth pretty much the whole time, and dude eventually was he said something about one of his mans, and he popped on him in the courtroom on Instagram Live, fight caught on video, all of that.
He did.
Pretty sure the
it was a fight. You said he popped him.
Yeah, it was like they got into it, but I mean he got the better exchange. Like he was able to pick up his phone and walk away laughing.
No, I thought you meant like he popped him, like he shot him, like stay.
Oh no! He popped on him like they started fighting, like they started getting down like immediately in the courtroom. So yeah, like
that's bullshit.
I know, right? But he, like I said, that's the type of energy that this dude is on. Like in the very first verse on this song that he has called Real GDK. By the way, I don't really know his real gang affiliation, so don't ask me. But but I mean, you get his energy right on the first verse. I came here to kill. I should have just signed me a deal. I guess I'm too deep in the field. Money coming now. I wear what I want to wear. The fiends calling, yeah, they all in my ear. So, like, he gets into that. You can kind of tell why a nigga like this might not be signable for quite some time. He might need to, clean up the image just a little bit, maybe be a little more subliminal, like maybe like Dirk or somebody like that. Even though somebody like Dirk is not that subliminal nowadays, but still, anything to try to help to get you to that next level, as far as like just kind of cleaning the image up, will help. And he's just one of those dudes who's just he's always going to be in the streets and just going off on people until something snaps to make him snap out of that. But he is one of those people that if I'm listening to him, it's definitely when I'm in the gym. He's one of those people that if like on my playlist where if one of his songs come on, I'm not turning it off.
Got you. Okay. And like you said, it seems like he gives big energy. So I think it kind of works sort of in his favor because like that's his vibe and like clearly he's about that life. But it's sad because he doesn't realize that sometimes like because you are so street and you are really about that life, it's hard because they don't want to sign you because you might be a liability and they're like,
right.
well, Obviously you don't want the same situation like Young Thug, what he's going through right now. You don't want your artist like locked up for months, possibly years. Pooh Shiesty's locked up, so it's like I totally understand why labels are afraid to touch artists like this, but it's sad because it doesn't mean that like their music isn't banging or isn't popular or isn't going to make people want to move or get into it. So but hopefully like you said, he can clean up the image and maybe somebody will be like, all right, he's calmed down enough, we can sign him, we can see what he can do. But all right, so thanks, Eric, thanks for bringing him to the forefront. Now, Marcus, who do you have over there?
So I got this artist. It's actually kind of twofold. Like I saw this viral video and I was like, oh my God, who is this chick? And the chick in the video was not the chick that I thought she was. So I saw the Doing My Dance video, Cleveland drill rapper. Her name was Big Topic. So she's like, I'm doing my dance, and just her in this, and it's just this street gutter bar. It's like, I mean, it's a bar video. Like, I mean, it's nothing in the video that makes it just like, oh my God, it's an anthem. But I didn't know where she was from. I just saw the video. But then I heard Scar Lip, this is New York. And I thought they were the same person. And I was like, oh, damn, she got her glow up. Labels behind, this is a New York anthem. I thought they were just different people. I thought they were the same person. They are entirely two different people, two different artists, two different, But what they do have in common is this sinister aggression. Like that is very nigga-like, like I mean, like
they're tough.
Like,
yeah, they're rough.
It's beyond tough. Like when you see the video, like first of all, it's doing numbers. Like this is New York. We gotta go to the bars. So the hook is, this is New York. This is New York. Move back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Move. Like you, and it's
That's
so
New York.
It's so New York because that's all they're like, move, bitch. Like, I'm like, God damn, like, is this a train anthem? Is this what y'all do? Like, it is so fucking aggressive. And then it's got the old school, it's got the old school, like, Rough Riders feel with like just the mobs of people in New York. So that's enough. And right now, I mean, we coming up on the, I think, 7 or 8 year anniversary of Young and May with Ooh. Like, it's doing, it's getting the New York push from New York by everybody. Like, it's doing the rounds in the New York. So I mean, the videos went viral. So she met Busta, she met Jadakiss, she's met Swiss Beats. She got 50 was rocking with it in the club. If you're a New York artist in New York, you fucking with this. You like, oh, how can I help her? What can I do? What's the remix gonna be like? I mean, she opened up for French Montana at the Barclays.
Wow. So, like, and she's not even signed yet?
So it's like all of this is new. So I mean, the song came out, I want to say less than 2 months ago, and it just hit 1 million views. So I mean, it's building. Like she has the New York buzz right now. So once New York, I mean, it's only gonna happen. I mean, trickle to the rest of everyone else. Like, it could easily be a summer anthem. Like, it's not the overnight success of some artists, in the field.
Right.
But it's definitely, it's New York. I think, man, I hate Ice Spice, bro. Like,
But I mean, when I say Ice Spice, I mean, like, with the whole anthem, with like, if you have New York behind you, kind of a thing, like, you could really go far. You could really get pushed out there. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I mean. I'm not saying like their vibe or their style is the same, but I do like that with big. What did you say, Scarlett? That's what her name is. Yeah. Scarlett. I love how like she is like a fucking character, dude. Like that video. So you sent the video to us before we started the show, and so I watched it, and I was like, I feel like, damn, like she really gets into it. She's so animated, and so when you listen to it, it kind of all of a sudden you're mad as fuck, and you kind of want to be like, bitch, move. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, You know, like I don't know. I already told y'all, like I really wish I was from New York at heart. I really, really do, because I wish I was that type of person. But like listening to this music, listening to her music kind of makes me be like, all right, I'm getting into that vibe, I'm getting into that mindset. You know, you kind of makes you feel like you're a New Yorker, like for a second. So I think that she's pretty fun. I think that like the only other person that I can think of who was as animated as her when they came out of New York is Nicki Minaj. Now Nicki's, you know, her characters were all over the place and they were wild. And I don't know if Big Scarlett actually has like, you know, a Roman and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I just love that energy, that vibe. And I think that like when people are that animated and that different and that loud and don't give a fuck, I think, you know, it's hard not to kind of like vibe with it and be like, all right, like you are who you are. You're real as fuck. So I think it's dope that you highlighted her. And I think Big Topic is, you know, Big Topic is also kind of going a little bit viral. I can totally see why you thought they were damn near the same person. They're both aggressive. They both got that, like, they got that chip on their shoulder. You know, they rap hard as fuck too. But I think that is kind of dope, like seeing the ladies be a little bit rougher. You know, it's given that Kim, that Lil Kim vibe. Remember when Lil Kim first came out and she used to be like on the bars with fucking Biggie, like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So I love it. I love it. What do you think, Eric?
Nah, I think the same thing. Super animated. Like, it blew my mind how much they look, how much both of them artists looked alike. That was the crazy thing to me. But yeah, I think first of all, the fact that we're coming up on almost 8 years for that Young M.A. release is crazy. And I mean, I think it kind of comes in waves. Like we have these different waves of different women from New York who kind of bring out this like that like real New York energy, and I think that she's just kind of following right in the footsteps. I can't wait to see what she does, and the fact that that video is already about to be at 1 million views in under 2 months, like that's just showing that the momentum is it's building. So
Yeah.
it's only going to take somebody really important's ear to be like, oh, you know what, let's jump on that.
Right, exactly. And like Marcus said, she's met so many people, so I'm sure like it's in the works. We just don't know about it
She's
just
doing
yet.
like like that's another thing. I'm catching a lot of her interviews because now she's in my algorithm because I typed it up. So like she did the history, like not the history, the backstory of why she even called Scarlett, like the emotional story there. Like you, once you learn her story, you understand that aggression comes from like that pain, and it's a crazy story. Like when she tells her story, I mean, it's not. I don't. The word is very authentic of I guess her lifestyle. And it's just coming up in New York. So I'm anxious to see what her first. I'm anxious to see who's on the remix because this is like I said, it's a New York anthem. Everybody wants to be on it. So
Yeah, that would be wild.
you know, and I hate to use this term. She's fucking with legends right now.
Yeah.
Like Jadakiss 50, like she's with the heavy hitters of New York right now who are like, oh yeah, this is New York. Like she got that. She brought New York back. So I mean, who do you get? I mean, it's not it's not even say that Jay couldn't get on it. To be honest, like you said,
You think he would? It's just such a like raw kind of like, you know, aggressive sound. I would really be surprised if Jay-Z jumped on it.
I would be surprised too, but I think he would do it for a mentor mentee, like, oh yeah, this is new, like it was that hot and it brought the city together type. I don't think he would get on it just I mean he would have an interest in getting on it, it would be definitely downstream for him. She would have the title deal. She would have it would be part of a package, just not him getting on there because Alicia Keys and them represent this is New York, right? It wouldn't be just it would be it would bring more to the table, but anything's possible for her right now.
Yeah, I personally would think that Busta Rhymes, Nicki Minaj, that would be fire if they jumped on it. I could
definitely see Busta on there.
Don't sleep on Jadakiss. I think
Jadakiss on there too.
Yeah, I think because they were in the studio. I think Kiss has a verse. And I do know she's worked with Busta in the studio on something. I don't know if it was the remix. So so her and Busta, like, and I want to say Busta might have been the first New York to kind of be like, oh, who is this? Bring it into the lab. So I mean, they kind of hit it off.
That's awesome. Well, that's dope. Well, hopefully she, more good things coming to her. We're definitely going to have her on our radar. Now, switching gears a little bit, for my next artist, I have somebody from LA. So, we've done Cleveland, we've done New York. So I wanted to highlight someone from LA. That's where I'm currently at. And the person that this was actually a recommendation from Shane. He's the producer, and you guys have already seen him as one of the co-hosts on Bar Exam. So he actually introduced me to an artist named Fig Newton. And when I first heard of Fig Newton, I was like, what type of name? Like, isn't that a candy or a cookie or something? Like, what? And I was like, maybe this nigga's not that hard. But I listened to him, and he is like the epitome of LA. Now, the song that I'm talking about is called Be For Real. And when I say be for real, it sounds like super dry, right? But really, when people from LA say it's like, be for real. Like, it's so extra. And he is very extra and very animated in this song. But I like it. I really do. I think he totally has that West Coast vibe. If you're somebody who's into YG or even Blueface, you might really fuck with Fig Newton. And so I'm just gonna pick one of my favorites from one of my favorite verses that he had off of this. But I think that overall he has pretty good bars, throughout the song. He has a bunch of other mixtapes and stuff like that. So check him out for sure. But to get into the bars, he says, "Hop out, get to busting, no discussing this shit. Real live wire, my niggas stay lit. Blow a nigga candle while we gon' trip. They like this is initiation. Every other week is a sticky situation. Niggas only judge the gangster by participation, but now you watching niggas you participate with." So yeah, I really like him. I think that he has really good bars. I think that he definitely is the epitome of West Coast. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we do end up seeing him on a song like Blueface or maybe even YG, because the sound is just like so similar and the vibe is similar. And I think that it was a really good pick from Shane. So thanks, Shane. I know he's watching, so thanks, Shane. But I don't know, Eric, have you heard of this artist before?
I have before.
And what did you think about him?
Oh, he's dope. He's dope.
Okay.
I get where you're coming from, where he has that similar vibe a little bit to YG. I just like the way he raps. Like, personally,
right?
Like, that's just like, I like the way he raps. I have no idea how he came up with his name. I would love to hear that backstory. But yeah, I think he's one of those ones to look out for sure. I'm kind of surprised he's not a little bit bigger yet, but I also think that the West Coast is kind of going through it's kind of going through like another mini resurgence a little bit, because I feel like in like the mid 2010s we had like this just explosion of everybody, whether it was YG, Kendrick, Nipsey, Dom. Like it was just like they were everywhere. So I feel like we're kind of getting into that once again. You got Fig Newton, you got people like Blue Bucks Clan. Like, there's a lot of people coming out of that scene that are starting to bubble again. So I'm really excited for an artist like Fig Newton, because he's really dope.
Yeah, I agree. I love that you say that, because I really do feel like right now we're in this very like right now what's mainstream for at least hip hop kind of seems like it's New York. Like, New York is having a very big moment right now, and like drill specifically is having a huge moment. So I think that you're right. Like, maybe we will have another wave, like when summer comes, of like maybe it won't be New York so much anymore. It'll probably start to transition maybe back to West Coast. We'll see. But I think that is interesting how there's always like this cycle of like there will be some like a certain region, a certain area that's lit, like that music kind of like catches on, becomes mainstream, and then it's like, all right, now we're back to LA, or now we're back to the South, and so I think that is pretty interesting. But so is your next artist, Eric, is that another LA artist? I think you mentioned it earlier before we started the show, But you can go ahead and introduce your next artist if you like.
So my next artist is actually from Flint, Michigan, and
Oh wow.
my artist name is Rio the Young OG. This is probably one of my favorite people to listen to just on a regular basis. So shout out to Lil Yachty. The first time I actually ever heard of Rio was because of Yachty, because Rio wasn't even on the song that I first heard, but Yachty came out with this song, and it was called I want to say like Flint Tana, I believe, and it was him. It was this guy RMC Mike, Louis Ray, and YNJ. Louis Ray, YNJ, and RMC Mike are all also from Flint. So I heard that song and I heard these guys, and I was like, okay, these guys are like, they're coming with something different. It's really dope, and Yachty is like shining a light on like Michigan artists, so I really like that. And then through listening to them, then I eventually stumbled upon Rio, and Rio to me just has one of the craziest stories, just as far as like his come up. He so if you see the picture of Rio, he has like this big like, it's like one of his like signature marks. He's like a big bubble on his face. And that happened to him when he was like a youngin, because he was in his kitchen trying to call himself trying to cook some chicken, I believe. And he didn't know what he was doing at all, and he cut the grease on, and um I want to say it was either too hot or something like that, and it caught fire in the kitchen.
Oh no.
And he tried to put it out in the sink, and whenever that happens, you already know what's about to happen after that. So the second he did that, a bunch of shit just spilt out everywhere, and part of it like got all in his face. So he had like a big ass scar on his face for like a long ass time,
Wow.
like that was like way bigger than it is now. But then it kind of just became like his signature. Like people started asking him about it all the time, and at first he didn't like talking about it, but then again, it was just one of those things that he just grew accustomed to. But again, one of the main reasons why I like him so much is just because he has this this pocket that he gets in, as far as just like that like Detroit style rap, but like he brings like the Flint energy with it, and like where he comes from, because Flint is a little bit outside of Detroit. So like they, even though it's very similar, it's also like different in certain ways. So I just like the energy that he always brings to the table, whether he could be talking about anything, whether it's talking about some crazy party, whether it's talking about sliding on somebody, whether it's he talks about inspirational shit, he talks about drug shit, he talks about literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I like about him the most is that he is hilarious, and he's not even trying to be funny. He just raps, and he's just naturally funny. One of my favorite verses from him is the one of the first songs that I heard from him, called Legendary, and the verse goes like, catch a nigga slipping at the light, make his heart drop, cut the green beam on him, make his heart drop, 223s hit his engine, make the engine block and cut the car off, stomp a nigga head off, yellow zanies call that bar hopping. Like he just goes on and on, like just like kind of just flowing into different pockets. And I just really appreciate the way that he comes to the table. My Glock, like a badass little kid, I put a switch on it. I broke my cousin 10th scale. I had to put a brick on it. My little dog in Section 8, I'll put some wick on it. They say I talk about the same shit. Well, that's all I know. If you ain't talking about blowing ops, keep that shit, bro. That's all I smoke. Like he's just really. It sounds really simple, but at the same time, he has this way of like just keeping it flowing with the beat. He will rap songs and won't even have a hook on it, and go for like 32, 64 bars, and by the end of it won't even realize that the song ended until the beat just cuts off. So
Wow.
yeah, Rio the Young OG, check him out. He's currently locked up, so free him.
Oh man.
Yeah, he'll be out, and I believe I think he only has 2 to 3 years left. So Free Rio.
Wow. Do you know what even went down?
Um, I want to say he went to jail because he was caught on a wiretap
Oh
by
man.
the feds, and he was doing some illegal, whether it was paraphernalia moving, scamming, whatever the case may have been.
Gotcha.
He had his wire tapped, and that's basically how he got caught up.
Damn.
To my knowledge, Rio is not the violent type of dude. He might talk about that type of shit in his songs, but that's not how he moves at all.
Okay, got
Yeah,
you. Well, yeah, hopefully he'll be out soon, like you said, in a few years. But I do think it's kind of dope that he got like he took his pain, his scar, and like actually made it, into his persona, his personality, and just decided to open up about it. And he actually told the truth. A lot of niggas probably would have said something crazy like, "I've burnt
right.
it." I don't know, fight a nigga, something stupid, like probably something ridiculous. You know what I mean? But like, he actually told the truth that it was just him being a goofy ass kid cooking chicken. So
Right.
at least he's honest.
If you listen to all of those guys, like all the like Rio and then all the other guys I mentioned, they kind of remind me of like a modern day version of D12, but
Okay.
like a little bit better in some
Okay,
cases. In some cases, not better
all
than
right,
M, not better than Proof, like none of them, but like
It's different.
yeah, it's different. It's definitely different.
Okay.
okay, cool. Yeah, shout out to Flint, Michigan. I did not know you were going to be talking about somebody from Michigan. I love that we're like we were doing all over the map. I love that vibe. So that's
Well,
awesome.
yeah, you know
So
why New
thanks.
York is on right now, like because you said it goes in waves. You know why New York is
Yeah.
on right now? Because power's on. When
You
power's
think
on,
that ties in?
when Tariq is
I
on
thought
that,
it was because drill music.
not when Tariq is on that screen, everybody want to be in New York.
That is
Eh,
hilarious.
Yeah, then what? And then when P Valley come back on, you gonna go back down south. The West Coast had Insecure, but they don't really, So it's really about the shows and what's on TV. So
I even thought of it
yeah,
that way. That could be
You
true.
know
I don't
what?
know.
You know what else that I thought about too when you said that? When you said that, like it switched kind of from LA to New York. You know where else it kind of switched popularity wise for me? I think
Hmm.
Memphis and Houston kind of are on a crazy wave right now as far as
mm,
the South
Really?
goes.
yeah,
Like Atlanta has kind of quieted down a little bit. Now, I think that
Yeah.
there are a lot of outside circumstances which have caused that, like a lot of artists being under the thumb of the law right now. But as far as Houston and Memphis go, they've kind of taken over that wave and ran with it.
Oh
yeah.
wow, I didn't even realize either. I mean, yeah, that'd be lit for summer. Either way, like I love that we don't get like, as a society, we don't just stay with, New York drill being like the shit for 3, 5 years. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure that the artists would like, for their music style to like be in the limelight longer. But I do think it's cool, like, and it just brings so much different culture to hip hop when we do these waves and we do like realize that like Houston or LA or New York is popping right now, but then who knows who's going to be up and coming. And it kind of makes me miss like the West Coast, East Coast beef, or even like, North and South. Like I kind of wish that would come back to hip hop a little bit. That would be fun,
Mm.
personally.
Hmm.
Yeah. But Marcus, is there any other artists that you want to highlight?
Not that I want to highlight. It's a dishonorable mention. Like I don't want to give this person any clout, any more substance. But you're gonna hear the story. So there's a rapper who has been rapping for about 3 years or 2 years, and in his rap, he claimed that his 2-year-old daughter had passed, and he had been, oh, rest in peace, Come to find out, she's alive and well, and then he issued out like, "Oh yeah, I made a mistake saying that my daughter was dead. I'm sorry. Y'all still support my music. I made a mistake." No, nigga,
Wow.
no. You are canceled
Real mistake.
forever,
Yeah.
forever. So when you
Who is
Yeah.
this that you're
you
talking about?
bruh, it's a dishonorable mention. I am not. When you hear the story, you're gonna be like, "Oh, damn, I heard about him," but yeah, the story is crazy, like horrible, like
That is
yeah,
horrible. That's wild as
horrible, horrible,
fuck.
horrible. Like
So did he just come out and tell the truth, or were they like
I
someone
think
found out he still had his
found
daughter?
out that like, bro, your daughter not dead.
What type of shit to say? That's
Yeah,
crazy. People are wild as hell.
I'm dumbfounded right now.
Yeah, yeah, and like what I think it's different because like normally when people say things like that, like you're trying to get sympathy points for like a GoFundMe or something like that, not your rap career. Like
yeah.
what? Like that's wild as hell. So that was definitely interesting. Thanks for bringing it up to us. I don't know. I've never heard this artist though. Like I don't know. You
Neither
won't
have
tell us
I.
the name, but hopefully maybe I'll see the story pop up in Shade Room soon. Who knows?
Tell us
That's
the name
wild,
off
dude.
air because I'm
All
so
right.
curious.
Right? I'm so curious. And if you guys want to know, ask in the comments.
Yeah, ask in the comments.
Send a link.
We ain't saying it.
We ain't saying it apparently. But anyway, guys, so this has been Bar Exam. We went through some of our favorite up and coming independent artists. We hope that you guys really liked it. Check them out. We're gonna probably try and like put some links, below for a couple of these people. But remember that we're on every Monday, so you can definitely watch a new episode of us every week. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on the next Bar Exam. Bye.